All right, everybody, welcome back. We are up to our next episode. I think this is episode 6 of our Final Fantasy VI T-Edition run-through. If you're just joining us, you can probably tell where we are just by looking at the screen. We are at the place where the 3 stories separate, and we are up to Sabin's story. We saved the longest, some might say the best, for last. So as a quick refresher, we were heading back to Narshe, with Bannon. En route, Sabin got separated from the rest of the group, falling off the raft while fighting Ultros. So we pick up Sabin's story. What dire fate has befallen Sabin, who leapt from the raft after the fight with Ultros? Alright, so we immediately start next to this hut, where we will hear the music and realize that Clyde is hanging around here. Now, given that we just saw him in South Figaro, he got over here pretty fast. Very mysterious man. So Clyde is letting us know that on our way back, we're going to have to go through a camp set up by the Empire to the east. They are at war with Doma, which we heard about from Celeste on Locke's story. And Sabin probably could take care of this by himself. But this is a hired hand here. Clyde says, I can take you there if you like. Just know I might leave at any time. So we can take him on as a traveling companion. Love his catchphrases. We can hire him at various points of the game later, but this time he's joining us for free. Now this is an interesting little place here. So whenever you hear that music, something funny or weird is going to happen. So we talk to this guy, who's an old man, and he's clearly crazy. Lawnmower repairman. I love how in this steampunk fantasy universe, lawnmowers exist. And back to the clockmaker, and he'll cycle through those. So believe it or not, this man has some backstory. It's not just a crazy old man here in this hut, but we won't learn about him for just a little bit. When we leave, the Empire's got a little merchant who just sells to people. But because he doesn't know who we are, we can see if there's any supplies we need. Now this is interesting. This is new. A long bamboo club designed for strike and thrust attacks. That's pretty cool. Let's drive with that for a second. All right, we're good. Maybe we'll get a few more potions here to get up to an even 30. Let's take a look at this. So the metal claw. All right, so this is going to increase our speed a little bit, drop our magic, but our attack goes up quite a bit. That's nice. All right, cool. Now, it said something about it being like a long stick. I wonder if that means that I can do the same damage from the back row. I'm not going to risk it. So it looks like Clyde has double kunai. Interesting, okay. I'm not going to give him relics for a good reason. He will most likely stay with us up to a certain point where the plot will dictate he leaves. But if you take too long in getting there... Oops, I shouldn't have saved over that one. Oh well, we're committed to this one anyhow, right? It was the only quest left. Anyways, if you take too long before you get to that point in the story, he might just up and leave anyhow. I don't know if it's on a count, like so many battles or so much time, but he could leave early. And it would be random, like it would be unpredicted. So I don't want to give him stuff that I could potentially lose. That is cool that he has 2 weapons that he can use. Normally, that's not a thing. There's a relic in the game that you can get called the Genji Glove that I think we already got that, right? We equipped it on Edgar. But normally you have to have that. So Clyde, by his job role, they're going to allow him to hold 2 weapons. Anyhow, that's pretty cool. I am totally going the wrong way, aren't I? So these rabbits, they're normally part of the game. These little hedgehogs are not. They're kind of new. Now, the one regrettable thing that we have going on here is I don't have a move that can hit everybody right now. Oh, that was cool! So, Clyde has a thing where randomly he'll summon his pet dog Interceptor to attack. That's when you see that little dodge shield come up. That's really awesome. They've made Clyde a lot more useful because of that. I think I'm going to enjoy this. Alright, I totally went the wrong way. We were not supposed to go down, we were supposed to go to the right. If we go down, we hit a dead end. That's going to cause us to get a few more battles, but that's going to be important. I may have mentioned this earlier, but before we get to the end of Sabin's story, we need him to be at level 15 for what will happen immediately after. He'll learn a new blitz at 15 that hits everybody on the screen, and that's primarily why we need that. I feel like these battles are taking a little longer than they should. I did turn the battle speed down a little bit at the beginning of the game. I might kick that up to a solid 1. I missed that. I'm just practicing the suplex for a boss later. I'll have to look it up again. This guy's definitely taking some time, isn't he? So I probably should have bought some more potions because I realized this is the only of the 3 quests where I will not have a healer. So sorry, we went down, we should have gone right. Kind of was expecting that to have killed in 1 hit. Would there be a delay in doing the blitzes? Like normally in the game it's almost instantaneous. You put in the command, you hit OK, he goes. Because the blitzes are more powerful, I do appreciate that there is perhaps a little bit of a balance in delaying it from happening right away. Because now it becomes a timing strategy. Gotta make sure that he can get that off in time, so to speak. So that I don't just trust that I put the command in and the guy is dead. Because it is far more powerful than, say, his normal attacks. I'm not sure I like what bone powder was. I don't recognize that. It made it sound like it might be like a zombification attack, but I don't have anything to cure zombie that I'm aware of. Maybe I do. That's normally a status effect that you don't even see until, I'm going to say, chapter 2 of the game. Alright, so we're going to throw a save in here because we're going to begin this little subplot. We have reached the Imperial camp. So, some fun and interesting story. not really story, but backdrop information. We're going to eavesdrop on some soldiers talking. We'll get the impression of how people in general in the Empire feel about what's going on right now. So what we're getting is that Kefka is technically kind of like a military leader. He's more like an analyst, a support person on the high-ranking side of things. He is recognized as a general in the original game, but it sounds like here General Leo is the official general of this war, and he's perhaps second ranking. So we get a little impression that Kefka is not a nice person, but perhaps some of the soldiers of the Empire are human. You know, they have feelings and thoughts. And we also, even though we haven't seen General Leo yet, we're learning that he evidently is a pretty nice guy. Alright, so we're also going to take a peek over here at Doma. So this is that war that we were talking about. Doma Castle is under attack by the Empire. So this is happening concurrently with Locke's story, which is why we read about how Celeste was put into prison because of the plans that they were making for this attack. Now, I've always loved the little animation of these guys trying to literally attack the castle by running into the castle. It's hilarious. Oh, Doman, not Doma, but oh, Doman Sentry, as in the possessive form of somebody from Doma. Doman. Gotcha. That's interesting. Normally it says a moment, sir. So that's interesting. Cyan, the character named Cyan that we're about to name here, a noble warrior of a foreign land, faithful retainer to the Lord and Master, appears not even death. Normally he speaks in ye old English in the original game, with lots of thous and thees and a very formal way of speaking. So when he said wait, Fell, their commander, is still Old English enough, but doesn't quite sound as Old English as the original guy does. He gets costume change as well. And all we have to do is defeat the commander, they say. He is a samurai. He has samurai things. He does not have relics. Thigh. There we go. Okay. Ooh, that's much faster. Sweet. Okay. So normally he has this, his ability, his skill is called Sword Tech. And normally you just have to wait for this bar to go up from 1 to however high you want that tech to be. But as we just saw, that thing was booking it. But he is otherwise pretty slow. He's taking a bunch of hits over here. Fang Strike is normally called Dispatch. But man, this is like a can't lose battle normally, just because of how strong you are just against this captain. I gotta be careful. I might actually lose this story battle. This ain't good. This is not supposed to be like a hard boss battle. I am in some trouble. Come on, come on, come on. Is it using the skill slows down when I can do the next turn, or is this guy just that fast? No, this guy's just that fast, because even using an item is taking a couple. Man. Cyan's going to need to get some speed somewhere. We do get a black belt, which is very important. It's a relic that's going to allow me to counterattack. Normally I put it on Sabin, but given how slow Cyan is, I'll put it on him instead. So Cyan is going to tell his troops that we can hold them inside. Let's go back inside and we'll be able to wait it out. In the meantime, he's got True Knight and Star Pendant. Let's go ahead and put that black belt. It's going to increase his defense, speed, power. Yeah, that's the right route to go right there. Okay. So we're still not done with the story and the talking to soldiers and such. There is a treasure chest. We'll probably garner a battle if I try to open it. And given how strong this game is doing right now, I'm afraid to do so. There's a later chest that's a monster in a box. Ooh. I don't remember that being the thing that's in there. Thunder. Oh, Thunder Edge is a scheme. Okay, cool. Might be able to use that later. Alright. So now we get to meet General Leo. So General Leo, on the other hand, is cares about things such as how many troops he's going to lose, and so he wants to be patient as well. We get a classic line from Sabin here in a second. So Leo has to return. Aww. The original line is, he'd be my friend if he weren't my enemy, which I like a little bit better than that. Alright, one more trigger scene. So now that Leo is heading back, Kefka, who is quite impatient, wants to just kill everybody. It's going to poison the water supply. So this is an interesting line, because I don't think there's anything in the story ever made of this fact. Those who side with the Returners. We never really learned why Doma goes to war with the Empire, but it's never been ever hinted otherwise that they were supporting the Returners, except for that line. And even some of the Empire soldiers who were kidnapped, or captured, I guess would be the proper term. Originally it's your history, bub. So this is a story battle. As soon as I hit him, he runs away. Do I look like a waiter? Some of these tents have treasure chests, some don't. See, talking to him will trigger the next one, but we can actually go ahead and run ahead to this point where there is a monster in a box. So Sabin is berserked. He's just going to keep attacking. Clyde is blinded. I might throw in... Oh, never mind. Cool. Got a green beret out of the deal. So everything's just going to go on Sabin right now. Get that power, get that speed up. Whoa, check it out. An ether. I don't think there's anything down here. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to Kefka, trigger the next event. That Thunder Scheme probably would have been alright here, but... Oh yes, the counterattacks are coming into play now. Awesome. Now, I mean, it would kind of also half make sense to put the counterattack on Clyde since he's doing a little bit more damage. I did not put the black belt on him because I don't want him to run off and then all of a sudden I don't have my black belt. Really would like to hold on to that. And truth be told, Clyde's doing enough damage as it is. Alright, that one's pretty good. So while we were fighting that guy, Kefka is over here. Love that line. There's some real classic lines in this game. So Kefka is releasing poison into the water supply at Doma, which has like this incredibly instantaneous effect of killing everybody in like 5 seconds. Which is, I'm not quite sure how that works, but we got a game and a story to move on with. Poison. This is a nice bit of characterization here. So a very honorable man whose king just died. Of course, this makes him angry. Still, he's a man of duty. Let's split up and let's search for survivors. Of course, we won't find any if we went throughout the whole castle, so we'll go straight to Cyan's room, where he finds that his wife and child has also died. This causes him to fly into a rage, as one would naturally do so. So, whereas they were waiting, they were looking for survivors, he just runs straight from the castle into the battle. And just starts taking out troops left and right. Of course, Sabin comes up right at this time. Now, Cyan can't be controlled at this stage. He'll just be attacking for us. Get a little chunk of damage there. I may switch that black belt over to Cyan at this stage, given what he just did for damage. Well, Sabin's doing pretty close. And he's faster. And more hit points. See, really, it goes on Sabin mostly because he has the most number of hit points of everybody. When I was younger, I used to like playing a game to see if I could guess how many hit points they had based on. So Cyan killed one with 190. Sabin didn't at 175, so they have somewhere between 175 and 190 hit points. A little nerdy, but used to kind of try to do that kind of thing. Alright, so after a few of these battles, they realize, hey, look, we just are going to have to fight together. He seems more collected and reserved all of a sudden. He ran into the camp, you know, on fire because his family literally just died. He seems a little bit more collected now, which is a little unusual. But the only thing I don't like about that from a storytelling standpoint is you kind of forget about his family for a minute because of this whole little scene with the camp. So for the second and I believe last point of the game that we get to have fun with these things, we've got the Magitech armor, but we are fighting Magitech armor at least this time. But since we do have multiple targets, Bioblaster is going to come into play here. So we get a little reward for getting through all that story by playing with some Magitech armor again. This might be a good opportunity, by the way, to get some free heals in before we leave this camp. So, I mean, I'm giving my impressions of playing this version of Final Fantasy VI, the T-Edition. I will say, it is harder, but in a balanced kind of way. In other words, they didn't just make it harder to make it harder. They added a degree of difficulty, but at the same time, they balanced out a couple other things that actually make it easier on certain other aspects, like the Magitech armors here doing like far more damage. Sabin has more hit points than he normally would at this point in the game. Like, there's little things that made it easier in certain respects to compensate for the addition in difficulty that they threw in here. Now these bosses, for instance, have really taken me to task. It's got me afraid of a couple of bosses later in the game that are legitimately hard from previous versions. How much harder are they going to be this time around? I'm expecting, as the game gets on a little bit more, I will be getting some game overs and I'm going to have to develop strategies. Now, for some odd reason, we're leaving the way that we came in, and then that gets us, quote-unquote, through the camp. So at least he justifies it this time. In the original game, they just get out and leave, and it makes you wonder, why didn't you take the magical suits of armor that can kill everybody? And so Sabin said, we're about to head through a forest. I guess we won't be taking these because I guess he's imagining they're too bulky to go through this forest. In a real forest, he would be right. So let's take a look here. Sabin's got a little bit before he gets to 14. And by the time I get to the end of this forest, I want to be pretty close to 15. So I am going to be fighting some battles along the way. So that answers my question about the long range. It still did about half damage. So I'm curious to see something with Cyan here. Does he still get off his Tiger Fang or not? And the answer is yes, Fang Strike. So, normally if you've prepped a move and then you get berserked, it cancels that move out, and then you're going to attack on your next turn. Looks like they changed that, where if you have something queued up, you still get to do it. So we're going to throw a save here. We're going to enter this forest. Whoa! Whoa! These guys came to play. These are normal enemies that are normally here, but those moves that they did right there are not moves they normally do. So we're getting 67 experience per battle. That puts us about 10 battles away. About 8 battles away now, these guys. We are going to hit a recovery spring here. And we will not be in this forest but about 30 more seconds, depending on how many battles we fight here. Okay, these Ochus are new. Why did I just use what looked like a punch rather than a... That ghost is going to keep using drain. I need to get rid of him. Do I like still have a weapon with Sabin? Yeah, okay. He's just hiding behind that Ochu. It's kind of looking like he was punching because the stick was hiding behind that monster. All right. It's cheaper than using items. We're right here. So we just go up, and we go up one more time. This could be bad. Oh, good. With a group of 3, they're going to use fire, which is what they normally do in the game, by the way. They are undead, and Aura Cannon is a holy move. Clyde's a little on the weaker side on hit points. I think that he normally has more. Or it could just be that Sabin has so many that it just feels unbalanced. Alright, let's head up. We are going to wonder why there is a train in the middle of this forest. Hey, we can get on here. Only take a second. I love how impetuous Sabin is. Just like, hey, let's go do this thing. Unfortunately for Sabin, that's going to be his downfall here. Because this is the Phantom Train. Carries the souls of the departed to their final destination. So we have to make for the engine, as it says. We're going to go back to this caboose real quick first. Well, now, Oversoul, I'm trying to remember if they're part of this, but that fairy creature definitely was not a creature before. Yeah, these guys are taking a licking, aren't they? I feel like Oversouls were later in the game before. I felt like there was something like this on the train, but it wasn't Oversoul. Might be thinking of something different. I'm not exactly like fact-checking as I play this game. I'm not like, I've got a video off to the side of the actual game. I'm doing it strictly from memory. That's pretty good. The dialogue between these two guys are pretty funny. Interesting that there's a save point here on the back of the train. There's about 3 on this train, just to give you an idea how long it is. We're going to see these little ghosts walking around. Mm. I really do like that Clyde is dodging a lot of moves. Maybe that's in compensation of his lower HP. Alright, spins up to 14. We got 1760 to go before the end of this, before the end of his story. So we're going to talk to this little ghost. So we're going to see a lot of these ghosts, and one of 3 or 4 different things will happen. They'll either join us, as you can see we have a ghost in our party. They may be a merchant and sell us something, or they will attack us. I do not know which ones are which, and depending on how this goes, I may skip some simply because I don't want to take excess battles on, because they're punching pretty hard. And especially if they're going to start using gravity moves on me. I will like to find one that is a merchant, though. Nope, that's battle. So I think I'm going to need some potions before this whole thing is over. Now, this is a 3-fer, so we know that they are going to just use fire on me. Oh, nah. Broke the mold again. He's going to use drain. Okay. Interestingly, the ghost at the bottom, when his options came up, only has fight and item. Now in the original game he has a move called Possess, which allows you to instantly KO somebody you're fighting and then he goes away. But you can go find another one. Like I mentioned, there's a few of them that'll join our party, quote unquote. But it doesn't look like that that's an option with him, because we can't possess. He's just going to be with our party. Alright. Like they say, you can't take it with you. Which is very funny, because that's exactly where we are. So, yeah, that's gonna be important. Holy water. Here's zombie already? That has me very concerned. Normally you do not get the zombie as a status element until much later in the game. So we probably are going to need some of those. I have a sinking suspicion we're going to need some more of those. I don't want to use all of my money, but I really do think we're going to need a lot of potions. Save those for battles. That's for when we're poisoned. Oh, I hope we don't get zombified too much. Okay. So I've got all that I need from a merchant standpoint. Any more of these is just extra battles. But again, as mentioned, we want to get Sabin up to 15 as soon as we can. So he's going to learn a new blitz at that time. X, Y, down, up. I'm going to practice that a few times before we get to the boss of this area. So fortunately in Final Fantasy VI, Exploder, as it was called originally, or Self-Destruct, is only going to do... won't be able to take him. It only will do the damage that they have left. So it's not a move of a certain strength. but it's just whatever they have left in hit points they will do as damage to you. Now, if we can get Cyan to 15 as well, he'll get his 4th sword tech, or Bushido Blitz, as they call it in this one, and that will allow us to hit multiple enemies as well. So level 15 is a magic number for Sabin and Cyan. We'd like to get both of them there, but Sabin more so. Wait, we got something called Shadow Gear. What's that? Oh, Shinobi Gear? Is that what it was? That was an awesome drop. Yeah. Keep it coming. Maybe get another one of those for somebody else. I'm not going to talk to everybody. I'll grab a couple of them, but I want to kind of skip some of them. Because again, we're going to be on this train for just a little bit. We're actually not even going to make it out of this episode. We're probably going to take it to the next save point, which is a little less than 5 minutes away. Still got a little ways to go, about a 1/4 of the way there to the next level. I was hoping he would have hit the zombie guy. So now the question is, do I use an antidote on my ghost guy who is honestly completely expendable? And the answer to that is going to be yes, because I do not want to see that screen flicker like that. Alright, so we got one little fun little event that takes place in this cabin, and then we get to a save point. So as we come in, we notice that somebody took the door, like got in the way of it. By that I mean, we're gonna fight a guy or two in here just for the experience of it all. Meteor Strike got it there, but may not be able to hit the bomb. Yep, because it's floating. Alright, we are getting pretty close to where I'm going to have to call it time, so let's go ahead and work our way back out. We gotta fight a battle to get back out. I'm used to playing on a controller. I'm actually playing on a laptop with a flat keyboard, so some of these blitz inputs I'm missing simply because the keys are flat and are not buttons on a controller. Alright. So this train is absolutely swamped with ghosts. And unfortunately, we are now trapped on the roof of this particular car. Alright, it's time to see if that training has paid off. Almost made that one. But as we start to go into this one, oh yeah, they're coming. So this particular card has a release. I don't know how that works for a Spirit Realm train. Does that mean that only half of the individuals go to the departed? But then pulling it again, open that up for us. And that, oh, couldn't quite make it. One more for the road. That was interesting. Now, how did I miss that? Nah. Alright. Ooh. Well, that's no bueno. Man. This is getting a little scary, huh? Ooh! Ooh! This is getting a lot scary. This ain't good. Oh, this is very not good. Alright, we're going to get Sabin back into the fray. We about ended this episode on a really bad note. Alright, so Sabin took a big chunk of experience because he didn't have to split it. So we are going to have to use a Phoenix down, and I was going to try to avoid having to use a tent at the save point. But I think we probably are going to have to. Now we are very shortly going to get a free heal, which is why I didn't want to have to use it. But I think to be on the side of caution, given what just happened there, we're just going to take this tent. We're going to save it. Our ghost friend disappeared because he died. We can maybe get another one in the next episode, but for now, we are going to save this. We are now approximately halfway done with Sabin's story. And with that being said, tune in next time for part 2. So we're a couple episodes away from the end of what I like to call Chapter 1. Let me know your thoughts. Thumbs up if you like it. But otherwise, have a great day.